Now, welcome to the nation, Monster Nation, that is. I'm your host, the tour guide, the president, and the king around here. The landlord, the owner, tenant, janitor. I'm off the damn floor with you if you don't follow the rules. The rules are you gotta like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications if you're trying to be a taxpaying citizen of the nation. Leave us a super thanks or super chat, depending on how early you get here. Or Cash App. We actually prefer the Cash App, but y'all do, y'all. It's cool. Do whatever. Cash App tag gonna be in the description along with the Bandcamp link. Also the merch link. Merch link is the one that says thisismonstanation.com. Yeah. So yeah, y'all can do that. The Bandcamp link is there for those of you who would rather hear me rap than to hear me yap. You know what I mean? Some of y'all it's not y'all favorite thing to see me doing vlogs. Then you know, click the Bandcamp link, and all of the mixtapes is there from Nonviolent Rocco, the most recent one, all the way back to Shell Shock. You know what I mean? And what the merch link I think is self-explanatory, right? Go get you some hats, some shirts, some hoodies or something. Not this one, sorry. Um, yeah. What else? What else? What else? What do you say? Um, when writing on the walls, when leaving comments in this summer, doom, 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 you got to spell all of your monuments, your legends, your presidents, mayors, and senators. You got to spell stuff right, B. It's ROCK. It's monster, not monster. No E and a R. Helter skelter, not helter skelter. No E's and R's. It's A's and H's. And of optimum or optimal, whichever word is correct, of optimum whatever importance is BCC, not BBC. Yes, there is a pause button. So anyway, I just do that. Sometimes when I record my vlogs, when I used to record my vlogs, I still do, but I used to throw the intro in the middle because don't nobody want to sit through that in the beginning. But when I'm going live, so like that first few minutes while everybody is on their way in here, you got to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't standing there setting up the camera talking about get in here. First of all, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. The first group of y'all here, whatever the first question I'm able to read, I mean, feel free if you want to make your question, not question, topic. First topic that somebody puts in there, super chat can help it get visualized, and the super chat may help me switch topics, but taking topics from y'all. Now, what are the current events? Do we have? We got Sue Surf respond his letter from the can. What we got? Ray J getting locked up or and bailed out. What we got? Hello, Tiana. How you doing? Let's talk. The first come first serve. Let's talk about. Hold on. Wait a second. Hold on. Let's talk about the National Guard that got shot and killed by that Afghan guy. I'm not in the loop. What happened? I'm terrible with current events. I'm really too good at minding my business for this job I'm doing right here. I do not be having all of the info ahead of time. Let's see. Good day, Slickster. Unless I've spoken about it already, curious to know the story behind the Operation Lockdown video shoot. That was all Drew High and Buckshot. I mean, they did that. And I have spoken about it before, but I mean, like, I guess we could talk about it. You know, there are two videos to that song, right? There's one video of the song where we all sitting in like a nursery at the beginning with some kids. Me and Ruck, not all of us. But then we morphed into some dungeony type of building. We coming through dark holes in the wall and all of that. But yeah. Then we didn't like the video. We paid too much and got too little was how we felt. So Drew High and Buckshot came up with another concept and we did that one. And that was the one with the Indian shit. We didn't even, I'm gonna keep it 100. As far as me, like I didn't realize the science. It's deep meaning behind all of that right there. But I wasn't aware of all of that. I don't even know if Drew High was aware of all of that. Buck might have been. Buck been smart for a long time. Let me see. Mandu Warrior, Bad Vibes, 10 Toes Down just made a special appearance on Math Hoffa show. They were talking about Jim Jones being a celebrity and not a first generation blood. I did see a clip from that, but I didn't see that part. What I was seeing was something that kind of resonated with me where they was talking about how they originally started the blood gang, like most. I mean, I've always known this, but most gangs, 99% of gangs, they start out positive. You know, they start out on some. We just gotta hold ourselves down against outside forces, because outside forces trying to force their way in, right? But so dudes got to put up a unified front, and then a gang will show up. You know, a gang. You know, it gets out of hand, and before you know it, it turns gang like. But it starts as real life. What do you call it? Neighborhood watch with, you know what I'm saying, like of sorts, and then it gets, you know, it gets out of hand. But what they were talking about, what I saw them talking about, they was talking more about the sense of how the gang started out to be positive, and they kind of from what I was gathering, they want to take it back to that, and that ain't what, you know, that don't seem like what Jim is doing. Am I far off? You know, like, you know, Jim and maybe other celebrities, they perpetuating the negative side of it. That ain't what it's meant to be. He wants to bring it back to the Panther vibe, the black unification vibe. That's something I could get behind. Pause. You know what I'm saying? They brought up Hocus Focus and the drop the flag challenge and all of that. When I spoke about that, I was like, I can appreciate what they're doing, but I would rather them unite the flags under something positive. I'ma always stand on that. Let's see. Trying to scroll through. Brook Nom Dawn, Y Smith and Wesson had a fake Biggie and ODB Soundboy burial video. Somebody argued me down one time. It was a chick. She argued me down, told me Biggie was in Soundboy burial video. There was no fake Biggie in the video. It was just somebody who kind of looked like Biggie in that video. It really was, but it wasn't a fake Biggie. I don't know the ODB part. I don't know. I don't know about that. It's news to me. Let me see. Yeah, Jim Jones. Salute to you, the force. Yeah, Jim Jones didn't support the Hocus Focus movement. Like, and I ain't see the whole thing. You know, my daughter came in the room, kind of took my attention away from it, so I can't speak that candidly on it. But that's where on the topic as a whole, that's where I stand. You know what I'm saying? I can appreciate the drop your flag movement, but I don't want to leave us disarmed as a whole. Like when we could just tie all the flags together. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. You know what I mean? Appreciate that. Enrichment TV. Appreciate your comment. What else? What else? What else? What else? Salute to Cameo 718. Appreciate your comment. I mean your compliment. What else? The deep voice dude with the cut on his face. Sean P. Yeah, I'm trying to let my gruff grow. I never been able to get the get my sideburns connected to my goatee. And I've been looking at pictures of myself since like 2011, something like that. And I've been having this little long goatee situation going on. And I'm trying to see if I can get something different going on. Starang still rapping? Yeah, he's still rapping a little something, something. He don't love rap. He ain't really that into. Well, I'm not sure. He might have had a but he's more working with. He got artists that he working with. But yeah, he still rap. Oh yeah, Prize from Fuji got them years. So he was a low key fake mix of rock and Method Man. No, he wasn't. He had a similar voice to mine, but his style wasn't. I don't feel like it was like mine or like Method Man. Mind you, I know somebody who knows Prize very well. I mean, I'm cool with Prize, but I got a friend who's super tight with Prize. And probably still. I mean, he was super tight with Clef too. I don't know if they still are, but he sent me a song recently, less than a year ago, with Prize on it rapping way better than what y'all used to hearing him rap. And take that for whatever it's worth. Way better than what y'all used to hearing him rap. I was like, oh. He's like, nah, my man's like, nah, Prize just be playing with it. He one of those dudes who really, you don't really love it like that. You don't really take his time with it, but if he took it serious, it would be, you know what I'm saying? Cassidy versus Eazy the Block Captain, who I got. Hey, something I like talking about. Cassidy versus, I know, Cassidy been smoking Eazy in the promo. I have been seeing some of that. But, Cassidy smokes everybody in the promo. Out promo Cassidy for no battles. But in my opinion, I don't think Cassidy won a lot of those battles that people be saying be close and all of that. Honestly, I felt like Cassidy lost all of those battles. Respectfully, no, not all. He beat Disaster. No, there was the two battles and all that. But overall, I feel like he beat Disaster. You know what I mean? And I feel like he might have beat Hitman Holla. I don't know. I gotta watch it again. I don't know, but people say that one. But all of the other battles, I feel like nah. I'm sorry. There's no. This is not a diss. It's just my opinion, right? But he's like as I said, he smokes everybody in the promo, and Easy. Easy might get Cassidy. I feel like Easy might win the battle. He might, but I mean, because like I said, I haven't seen Cass really. Easy might win the battle, but Easy has been a bit of a punching bag of sorts when it comes down to like niggas got dirt on his jacket. Like, like once the Remy thing happened, once all of the you know, the the contradictions and the the untruths started to reveal themselves and all of that. The paps, the poo papping with the pap poofs, all of that. People got too much material on Eazy. So it's like all of his battles have been a toss up since then to me. You know what I mean? So I don't really know. I would like to see Cassidy win though. I would. I would like to see him get a clear win that I could say no. He's because for me, I'm always I never deny being a biased nigga. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be rooting for the nigga who the industry rapper. Yes, Cassidy is a full-fledged battle rapper, but he also one of us too. You know what I'm saying? He's an industry rapper. He put and the same way people say that battle rappers can't make songs, which I don't believe. I mean, some of them can't, but some of them can, right? People believe that industry rappers can't battle. I mean, some of them can. I mean, some of them can't, but some of them can. So that's how I feel about the whole shit, And so I'm always rooting. I mean, and even aside from that, if I'm watching a boxing match and one is tall and one is short, guess which one I'm rooting for? If one is black and one is not, guess which one I'm rooting for? If they both black and they both tall, but one is skinny and one got wild muscles, guess which one I'm rooting for? So that's just I have familiarity bias. I guess that's we can label it that. You know what I mean? Somebody said Joe Budden won his battle. Listen, I don't know if he won his battle, but I would say he did way better than people give him credit for. Like I don't remember the battle that good, but I know I felt like niggas was hating on him. But I don't remember the battle that well. I know I remember one of Joe Budden bars. He was something about how low is the bar. If hollow is the bar, then how low is the bar? And they hated on that bar. I was like, nah, that was fire right there. Somebody said hollow killed Joe. Whatever. Johnny Jackson said hollow killed Joe. Chaz Brown said he was up 2-0 in show. Hmm. Nigga said Irving Street, salute. I know you telling the truth. Brook Nom Don. Oh, I know. Yeah, but so yeah, I'm rooting for Kaz on the strength of that. You know what I mean? Because it's the most like myself. It's the most familiarity. Would I battle? Yeah, I would. First of all, any MC, like you got to think about it. It's like if you get called out, like if you real about it, like something in you, if you for real about it, something in you is like you can't let this slide. You got to do something. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would. I don't. I mean, like I don't like if I know it's gonna be peaceful, then I'm with it all the time. Just in today's era, a lot of well, in the battle rap, of course, they battle all the time, and it stops right there. But sometimes those battles get out of hand, start full fledged beefs and neighboring and side effect beefs, residual beefs. So it's interesting. I mean, I would if I mean, I have battled. If there was something called the first of all, growing up a MC in Brooklyn or in New York, period, if you grew up in a certain time, if you said you rapped out loud, then at some point you had to battle somebody. Because it starts with the cipher and then it turns into something else. But yeah, there was a thing called the Blaze Battle. I was in the first Blaze Battle. Um I was about to battle Head Ice on Math Hoffa's Legends Only. Who y'all got winning Easy versus Cass? Who y'all got? Who y'all got? Mm. Yo, Chaz Brown, the intro to he said it. Chaz Brown says like your intro to Clans Posse's Cruising Clicks. That intro was a reenactment of something that actually really happened. Somebody really came over there. Somebody really came to the hood. My man Black, aka Kids and Bills, he came to the hood. He brung these two dudes. It might have been three of them, whatever. He brung these dudes who thought they was nice, and he was like, he was like, he brought them to my projects. Ruck was kind of living in my projects at the time, and he wanted to teach these dudes some manners. So he brung them over there, and we came and smoked them. So yeah, that was sort of that. See a lot of questions. I can't answer them all in depth because once I start talking about something, you know what I'm saying, I like to be detailed in whatever I'm saying. So I ain't gonna be able to get to them all. But if you leave a super chat, I'm just saying. I seen something. Somebody said they don't like Easy's arrogance. He going with Cassidy because he really from Philly. Yeah, that be. I feel you. He really from Philly, but sometimes I feel like that's the dumbest argument. Not the dumbest, but you know how they say, if you depending on what circles you in, if you run with any enlightened or fake enlightened people, you see a lot of you hear a lot of sayings about that say things like intelligence is equals isolation. Like the smarter you are, the quieter you are. The smarter you are, the lonelier it is, type of things. Cause like in real life, I see all of these arguments like for dudes to be really arguing about you not from there. That's a really silly argument to me. I don't feel like that's like niggas be basing their like Cam and Jim Jones did that. Respect to them. It ain't just them. Like dudes will find the silliest things to argue about. On my birthday, I was chilling with some of my homeboys, and they was telling me of a story of when they first met each other. Two of my homeboys, they first met each other at one of my birthday parties in like 2016. Party, one of my homeboys went outside to get some air, smoke a cigarette. He met my other two, well, one of my other homeboys and my cousin. All three of these niggas is just too aggressive, and they was all they all rep the same gang. Somehow them niggas found a way to have a problem with each other. Them niggas almost was beefing with each other over nothing. Like y'all niggas is both here to celebrate. All three of y'all here to celebrate the same nigga. Like it got so bad. Like they had to call a nigga. All the, they had to call a nigga for, and all it took was for the nigga that they called to be like, "Oh nah, son is valid. Oh nah, son, they valid." And all of a sudden, all of that malice they had for each other immediately dissipate. Now they're the best friends in the world. If you had a real problem, no, no real problem was ever solved by a nigga just going, "Ah, nah, son is good." What? What that got to do with whatever this real problem is? It's wild. I'm like, what was you niggas arguing? Y'all shouldn't even have nothing to argue about, but you know how it just there was some gang stuff they was arguing over and all that. Salute to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I don't see the sense in that right there. Like I realize this, I'm not that competitive of a person. That's probably why I was never good at sports in real life. I'm not that competitive, B. I don't need to be right that much. All I want is for you to understand what I'm trying to say. And if you can't, I'll quit. I'll bow out. But yeah, anyway, it's my little tangent. I don't think that. I mean, maybe I guess Easy. It looks like Easy is not from Philly, right? If how many rounds is niggas gonna have? About I seen like I seen Calico verse about Easy not being from Philly. It was fire. Cassidy gonna do something better than that? How many rounds is gonna be about him not being from Philly? He said, was Ruck getting at meth in his verse of Guns and Ones? He never admitted to it. I've asked him several times. I'm like, yo, something. But I don't know. He never admitted to it. But I wouldn't put it past him. He was competitive like that. Mm-hmm. He might have been. But I've directly asked him and he was like, nah. Yeah. I miss him too, yo. Wiggins stories would be epic. Wiggins. Anyway, how long we been in here? Almost a half hour. Anything? Any last topic? Something current y'all want to talk about? When I leave out here, I'm gonna change the title to what we talked about, so everybody know what it was. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What else? My verse on Guns and Ones is classic. Thank you. My verse on Guns and Ones is it's not fair. Like I went home, like Ruck and Meth laid their verses that night. I went home. I had to listen to their verses to make a song out of the song. You know what I'm saying? So I came up with the chorus and my verse, and I tried to tie it all together in the verse. You know what I'm saying? So anybody say, "Yo, you smoked that song," I had an advantage. What artist on the same track as me brought the most competitive competitiveness for me? Sean Price. That's easy. Mm, I mean, I guess I'm thinking. I'm reading some of your comments, trying to find something good I can answer, or whatever. But I guess now that I think about it, like being from New York, right? I know that a lot of people meet people in other cities claiming to be from New York. You know what I'm saying? You meet somebody from New York and they don't really be from New York and they do it for a certain amount of clout. I guess. Like I could never understand it. You ask them two streets, you ask them where they from, they name two streets that don't go nowhere near each other. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm from Harlem. I'm from Harlem between Brownsville and Sutter. What? Niggas be wilding, right? But so I guess yes, that is an angle. That's a valid angle. I can understand, right? That's a valid angle. But like when Jim Jones, when Cam and Jim was arguing, right? When Cam and them was like, "Yo, Jim, you not from Harlem, you from the Bronx." The Bronx is gully. Like it ain't like you saying he from, you know what I'm saying, some soft town or something. I don't know. I used to live in Philly for a short time. I didn't, yo, for love, I have lived in a lot of places. I promise y'all, boy. Philly was one of them. You know what I mean? Salute to damn, I can't even think of what town, what part of Philly that was, but I was out there twice. Once I lived there for a really short time, then there was another longer span of time when I used to just be out there a lot for love, right? Salute to Germantown. That's where I was. But yeah, salute to Philly. I'm rooting for Cassidy in this video. I mean, in this battle, just because, like I said, I'm more like him than I am like Eazy. You know what I mean? Industry rap. Hold on, somebody left a long question. Brooke Nom, yes, I did run into Prodigy when he lived around the corner from me. Not often, but once or twice. Let me see. Yeah, right. Sis, love source for love source for activated 740 said. That happens all the time. I'm born and raised in Far Rockaway in East New York. Live in Atlanta and run into that ish all the time. Someone just told me they're from South Queens and meant that. South Queens. What is South Queens? Like South Ozone? South Jamaica? South Suicide Queens. Yeah, they heard that in the Onyx record. South Suicide Queens, and they just thought it was. Anyway, what will happen first? A New York City Classic album or Knicks win championship? Nigga, New York City, listen, man. We put out classics all the time. You ain't listening straight. Definitely that. Let's see. You just asked me a question. I don't like it. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get. I don't like it. I don't like it. Peace. Last question. Peace, Rock. I was wondering how you got the song I Am Rock placed on the video game Need for Speed Most Wanted. Need for Speed Most Wanted in 2005. So, it was a hookup. My homegirl Abby O'Neill, Abby One Ill, dope friend. I think she's originally from DC, but she lived in Cali, and she might have saved my life a few times. Like enough times, or multiple times, things would get real crazy in New York, and she would like, I mean, on some, not on no rap shit. You know what I'm saying? On some rock from Helter Skelter, ain't got no business this close to these situations, out of hand, and she would hit me with some work for me, and she'd be like, "Yo, I got this project for you, or this feature, or this, or this that, or this video game opportunity," and it was one of those shit. She would hit me up, and she would tell me how much it would be. I would like take. I was like buy. I would like take 200 or take whatever out of that money and get me a flight out there, and some, you know what I'm saying, and I would just be in Cali. I would just use that as an excuse to be in Cali for a week or two or three or four or five. You know what I mean? Reset my life and all of that and come back. But yeah, salute to the homie Abby One Ill. Those was her connects. Um, the good people that what's the other homegirl name? I can't think of her name. Salute to her. But yeah, it was I just it, it was one of those who you know situations. Yeah, I would do a song with Rock Marciano, but I mean I'm not listening, B. I reached out to Rock Marciano. Maybe I should just reach back. Cause you know, dudes be busy. People be like, yo, why you don't do a song with? Why you don't do a song with? I be hollering at some of these niggas. Listen, if y'all think they rap good, if y'all think they rap, like if y'all suggesting that I do a song with them, that means you think they rap good. And if y'all think they rap that good, then chances are I think they rap good too. And when we see each other, we all always say the same thing. We gotta do a joint, we gotta do a joint, we gotta do a joint. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes niggas call, sometimes niggas don't. Sometimes when niggas call, sometimes niggas don't answer. Sometimes they do. The ones who answer or call back, so on and so forth, you hear songs. The ones who don't, you see a snapshot on somebody's Instagram. And that's it. But that's it. Anyway, we out. Hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. If y'all made it to the end of this video, let me get 4 microphones. 4 microphones. Yeah.